Hello, my name is Caleb Carlton, and in the background is a time lapse of me painting, which is one of my many hobbies, the others being drawing, piano, drums, guitar, video games, swimming, architecture, and reading fantasy novels. I'm mostly defined by my absolute lack of any social awareness, which is why I have horrible social skills. And even more conveniently, my personal legend doesn't require me to talk to anybody. My personal legend is to become a master painter. When I was little, I was always drawing things, messing around with different art supplies. My parents would get mad at me for getting on the computer all the time to learn how to do stuff. But it was the only way I could learn since I didn't really have an art teacher back then. My biggest influence is James Gurney, who's a really good painter who paints in watercolor around the world. He travels to different places with his easel and just paints whatever he sees, mostly objects that you wouldn't really think to be the subject of a painting, but they make a really nice subject. He has a YouTube channel that's based on teaching people how to paint without them having to take a whole class on it. And he does a really good job. That's how I learned. Limited as my experience may be. My all-time favorite book series is The Inheritance Cycle. Most people just know it as Aragon. But it's a fantasy novel series that's, it's castles and dragons, but the most important part of the book is the characters and the scenery that the author describes in vivid detail. The descriptions of the scenes make me really think about what the author had in mind and try to put it on a canvas the best I can. My goal is going to be incredibly difficult to achieve because nowadays it's really hard for artists to make a living just off their art. And I know if I want to be a good painter, then I'm going to have to spend a lot of time practicing it. And I don't have a lot of time because school and the work I get from school they're just such a burden. However, James Gurney is an adult that makes his living just off of painting. The way he does it is by partnering with National Geographic and the USPS. He does covers for National Geographic and for the U.S. Postal System. He paints stamps that he put his own mind into. I would want to do something similar. Finally, my personal truth is that people aren't always the way they seem. I know it sounds really basic and obvious, but you don't really think about it until somebody betrays you, and if they haven't yet, I guarantee you they will. That's just human nature. Thank you all for listening to my presentation, and I hope you like the final painting.